Morning. The summer months, my favourite time of the year. Everything is green. The trees are green, the grass is green, and most importantly, the fields are green. Just look at my field of corn there, as far as the eye can see. I am extremely excited for harvest time. This is going to bring in some serious dollar. Look how healthy the soil is looking, not a single weed in sight. Excellent stuff. Field prep pays off, doesn't it? So, also, just as importantly, the bank account is looking relatively green as well. So we're still earning anywhere from 30 to 50 grand a day from the amount of milk that the cows are producing. Right now, at this time of year, we have got just north of 6,000 bushels of soybeans from last year's harvest in the silo over there. That needs taking to the grain merchants, but I have been on the phone to them to see if I can organise getting it up to them. But they have asked me to hold off for a couple of days because they're just inundated at the minute from local farmers and their soybeans. So I'm quite happy to sit back and wait for a couple of days. We're looking at anywhere from, I think we're looking at about $700,000 income from that. So extremely exciting. But yeah, we're doing all right. Clara has been very, very busy keeping on top of the slurry and the manure. From the cow barns, the income from the biogas plant has been ticking over. It's not been as much as it could have been. Obviously, we haven't got any silage in there at the minute, so we're just earning from the slurry and the manure. But that's going to change as of today because both of the grass fields that we planted a wee while back, they are ready to be mowed. So I'm just going over there now to check on those two fields, but also the field of oats is ready to go as well. That's ready to harvest, so I'm going to be jumping into the newer of the two harvesters today, the one with the 4 wheels at the front. Giving that a run, seeing how that fares. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine, but yeah, I'm going to be running the harvester. Clara's going to be running grain cart for me, and we'll both tag team that field, as well as the mowing as well. I'm going to run the mower in the 2 fields, and Clara will follow behind with a tractor and a pickup wagon. But there's also a few plans afoot as well, as I always like to have something in the background ticking over. A bit of farmland has come up for sale, fortunately, close by. But it does come with 6 fields and a workshop. So I'll go and show you all that now. Right, the first of our 2 fields of grass here, looking very healthy indeed. Looking forward to getting the mower into here. Getting it all mowed for the first time. Clara's going to follow behind with the pickup wagon and get it taken over to our particularly clever silo system that we've got over there by the biogas plant. So I'm sure I've ran this by you before, but essentially what that's going to do is it's going to take a portion of the grass that we put into it and dry it and turn it to hay. It's going to take some of it and turn it into silage. And once that silage has been created, it's going to then pipe some of it underground to the biogas plant, because that's what's going to give us a bit of an income from the silage. So it's quite a clever thing, that. But over here, as you can see, our field of oats, again, looking particularly healthy. We're going to be running the harvester in here today. I'll run the harvester. Clara will run the grain cart and get all that done. But obviously the purpose of this is primarily so that we can get the straw as a byproduct from it, because we're slowly running out of it, as I said before. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us in here. Obviously get the harvester done initially, and then follow behind with the new baler, square baler, and the tractor and trailer, getting the bales picked up as well. The telehandler with the bale spike. So we've got a lot of work to do in this field today. We've got a lot of work to do in all the grass fields as well. Busy, busy, busy. But, as I said, we've had a bit of a forward-thinking plan, as it were, regarding a little bit more land purchase. So, as you see, this bright white workshop here, this has been vacant for quite a while now. And the plot of land, there's also a farmhouse behind it that comes with it, but I've already got a property developer who's interested in buying that from me, so that's the last thing I need. That farmhouse that came as part of the land several months back, that I purchased, I've sold that farmhouse. It's just, I haven't got the time to be mucking around with houses as well. I've got my own house, let alone another one. So yeah, I sold that farmhouse. I'll be selling this one as well. But this plot of land here, there's a, if you can see the cow barn there in the distance, the border of that is where the potential new land comes up to. Now, this whole area here consists of 6 fields of varying sizes. So we've got this one here. Crops aren't particularly healthy in this field. in all of the fields, to be fair, so I'm not going to be hanging on to those. Essentially, my plan that I've got is once we've got this field mowed of grass, essentially do a bit more field stitching and just join them all together and make one massive field and have it as grass. That's the plan. But what I also have in mind with this thing, because I do quite like this workshop, so the idea that I've had is to have this professionally and very carefully dismantled, because I do quite like the idea of, when it comes to stitching all these fields together, have this bit of a plot of land as well turned into arable land as, also. So the plan is to essentially dismantle this workshop, potentially have it painted red, and have it re-erected on the other side of the lane here, just around those trees. Just as another workshop. There's no room over on the farm to place that workshop down. I don't have any area of land currently with a big enough footprint to sit this thing. But I do quite like it. I haven't got the keys to it on me as well. Obviously it's not mine yet, I haven't made the purchase, but it's quite a nice workshop inside, to be fair. So I'd rather not get rid of it. I think I'm going to try and make use of it. But as I say, have it professionally dismantled and re-erected on the right hand side of the lane here. Still not entirely sure what I'll do with it, but I'd rather have it and try and figure something out to do with it as opposed to not having it at all. So yeah, anyway, right. So while Clara, I think I need to wait for Clara to finish off the sorting out of all the manure and the slurry from both the cow barns, and then get myself into the field and get mowing. Right, while I'm just waiting for Clara to come up the hill. There she is. Keeping the place going. Awesome stuff. Yeah, look at that. I'm extremely excited for harvest time in a few months' time. For these beans, they are looking absolutely splendid. Very healthy indeed. As is the corn on the other side of the road, like I showed you before. But, yeah. Perfect rows. Very happy with the way this has gone down. So, right, I think now that Clara's going to be a few minutes round at the cow barn there, loading up with the next load of manure. So I'm going to keep out of her way and go and hitch up the mower, which is in the shed down there by the fermenting silo. Right, let's get this mower hitched up. Let's think about the front end of this thing when I'm coming in here. Yup. There we go. Success. Not too fast. Goodness me. Lead foot. Right. Get this connected up. PTO. Those cables in. There we go. Lovely stuff. Now I suppose I can make a start. I don't need to wait for Clara to finish off. She can follow behind, as it were. Get out of there. Very good. Nice one. So yeah, I can go and make a start, can't I? Give her a shout shortly. There she is. Busy, busy, busy. Back in two. Right. Let's go cut some grass. Right, first grass field cut, and look at the size of these swaths. I think we're going to get a pretty decent yield off of this field, so I'm excited for that. But I had noticed when I was running round, it's the front. This is all down to the front mower. It's mist patches, little bits all along the rows here. Now, I can't tell whether that's down to the big balloon floater tyres on this thing causing the tractor to bounce too much on the little bumps that it's come across the field, or whether it's some adjustments need to be made to the front mount and the spring tensioners and stuff, and see if I can keep it on the ground a bit, or whether it's just because I've chosen the wrong tractor to do the job, because obviously the other Magnum doesn't have a front mount PTO, so I can't use that. It's got a weight on the front, and obviously Clara's running around in the Optum at the minute, sorting the slurry out. She's still got at least maybe an hour or so of work ahead of her to empty the slurry tanks in the cow barns and get it over to the biogas plant. So I think I'm just going to crack on with the other field, because I don't recall having this problem the last time I mowed the grass in the other field over there using the Optum. I don't recall having this problem, having it miss patches, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. There's a few patches here and there, little bits like that throughout all the rows. If I just take a quick run over here, there's a bit down here. It's dotted around the field, but I don't think from the quantity that we're going to yield picking up all these swaths, I'm not going to lose any sleep over bits like that. I know if they all added up, it might be a few litres of grass, but for now, I'll just, to save me the time of having to run over the field again. There you go, you can see there's a bit like patches here, where it's obviously been a bit bumpy, and as it's crossed over the bumps, it's lifted the front end of the tractor up, lifted the mower up, and the blades haven't cut these little areas, so yeah, it is what it is, but I'll see if I can make some adjustments. But I think next time, obviously I'm going to crack on with that field in the tractor I've got now, but next time I will try and keep the Optum aside so I can use that, because maybe with the slightly less bulky tyres that it's got, it might have a bit less bounce in it perhaps, but we shall see. So I'm going to crack on with the next field mow and get that done. As I say, Clara's got another hour or so of slurry tank emptying ahead of her, and then she'll follow behind with the pickup wagon and get all this stuff picked up and stuck into our fermenting machine. So yeah, catch you in a while. And the second one's done now. There we go. And as before, I'm pretty sure the common denominator is this tractor, to be honest, because as I said, I don't recall the Optum having this problem the last time I mowed this grass, but yeah, we've still got some mist patches in the swaths here. So I'm just going to take that hit on the chin. As I say, it's not going to be huge amounts. I'm not going to be losing sleep over it, but next time it comes to mowing the grass, I shall make sure to remember to use the Optum, just to make sure that it does the job properly. But I will just have a look at this and just check the tensions on the front mower here. But I'm almost certain it's the tractor and its big balloon bouncy tyres. Anyway, so I've just spoke to Clara on the phone. She's still hard at it over there, just emptying the slurry tank on that cow barn. She's still got about 100,000 litres to get out, and she's also still got, she hasn't got the slurry tank over to the big cow stall over there. I think there's north of 300,000 litres there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself back to the farm. I am going to grab a bite to eat. I'll make Clara some lunch as well, and I'll start getting the machinery over to the oat field. So I'll get one of the headers over there. As much as I'd love to get both harvesters in there and give them both a run, there's only me and Clara doing the job, so it'll just make things more difficult, to be honest. And the field's, it's a big field, but it's not too massive, so we'll cope with one harvester. As I say, me and the harvester, Clara on grain cart. But yeah, I'll start prepping things, getting a few bits of kit out there, ready to get started. So I'll see you in a wee while. Look at that, though. Sea of soybeans. So this is the area of land that I'm considering having that workshop put down on. It's just get your bearings here. This is the grass field that we mowed first of all today. And there's the cow stall. It's yeah, it's a decent size. It is my land, obviously. It came as part and parcel with the initial grass field that I bought across the trees there. But yeah, I'm thinking, and the other thing I'm also thinking I need to have built or buy is some form of bale storage, because the amount of bales we're going to get off this oat field is going to be quite considerable. And if I re-drill the field with another cereal crop, we're going to get more bales out of that as well. So I'm thinking I might have a bit more of a money spending session here, as I say, get that workshop re-erected on here, painted red, put down here somewhere, and just make something of this area here. As I say, with a half-decent shed that I can store the bales in. That's the idea anyway. Just thought I'd show you that while I was passing. I'm just getting the header out here over to the field. Clara's still busy away with the slurry tank. So, that's the plan anyway. I'm just getting the harvester over to the field, and with these massive twin 1100s, it's quite a thing feeding it down this lane. I'm just taking it real slow because I don't want to destroy my fence. It does fit, because we got it up here obviously, but I just need to take it very carefully, don't I? And, oh, I think I'm holding Clara up. She's behind me, isn't she? Yeah, there she is. Sorry, love. Gotta take me time. I'm pretty sure if I just keep the centre of the cab kind of aimed roughly down the middle of the lane, it should be alright, but yeah, as you can see there, it's tight. Very, very tight. There we are. We'll get there. Right, just done one last quick moisture check in the crop here, and everything is good to go. And I've just spoke to Clara on the phone. She's still just finishing off emptying the cow barn that's next to the farm there, and as I said before, there's still a couple of 100,000 litres, if not just north of 300,000 litres, sorry, over at the cow stall. So she's probably still got at least another hour or so of slurry tank emptying. So I think what I'm going to do, to give her a bit of a helping hand, I'm going to get back to the farm, jump back into the Magnum with the floaters, and get started with the picking up of the grass and get that over into the fermenting silo. Obviously I've got the header and the harvester here ready to rock and roll for when we are both ready to crack on with this one. Made a bit of a start, just carved a bit of an entrance into us here, so that when Clara does pull up with the grain cart, we're not destroying any crop. And she has asked me very politely and very nicely if she could get a bit of seat time in the harvester today. So I thought, you know what, why not? So I'll maybe give the field a start, and then we'll swap over halfway round perhaps. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to the farm. We'll get this grass picked up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off the fermenting silo just for now, because I'm very keen to see what kind of a yield, what kind of an amount of grass we're going to get from these two fields. That this is the first proper cut that I'm getting from both of the fields combined. So I'm very keen to see what kind of amounts we get from it. So I'm going to turn the fermenting silo off, get everything into it, and then I'll be able to say exactly what kind of a litrage we get, because if I keep it turned on, by the time I keep coming and going, by the time I'm back to it with the first wagon load, it'll have already started processing the previous load. So yeah, I'll let you know what we get from it when it's all done. Well, here we are at a different silo. That took a lot longer than what I thought it would do. It's now just clocked over 5:30 in the evening. I naively thought it might take a couple of hours. No, all afternoon. All afternoon. And, as you can see, I have had to tip the last 7 trailer loads of grass into the silo here for now, because we have filled the fermenting silo, all 545.6 tonnes to be precise, and we've put 108.5 tonnes into here, bringing the grand total of grass yielded from those two fields at 654.1 tonnes, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's brilliant, but it's crazy. It really is. But it's been a good afternoon. We've been working hard at it together, me and Clara, getting all this done. But we are still going to crack on with the harvesting, because Clara is very keen to have a go in that harvester. Now, I've told her she can make a start on the job. She's going to run a few headlands and have a go at a few centre rows, and then I'll take over halfway through perhaps. Or she might do the whole thing herself. I don't know. I really don't mind. She does need a bit of seat time in that harvester, get a bit of experience. So I'm not fussed either way whether she does the whole thing. I'm happy to run grain cart. So I think we'll go and crack on with that ASAP. She's happy for a late one. I reckon we're probably looking at about 3 or 4 hours to get that field done and dusted and back into getting it tipped into the silo here. I think that based on the time that we're at now, I think the baling will have to wait for another day. We're not going to get the daylight to get that done, even though we're in summertime now, and I'm sure that the days are a bit longer. But it's been a long day, what can I say? So let's go get finished off here. We'll tidy up, Obviously the harvester, the header, is over at the field waiting for us. So we'll get this trailer detached, pick up one of the others, and I'll see you over at the field ASAP. Right, there we go. She was keen, wasn't she? Look at that. She's off already. She's seen me coming up in the rear view mirror and just gone for it. She really did want to have a bit of a go in that thing, didn't she? So, well, here we are. We're going. We're harvesting. So, let's harvest. What they say, the devil makes work for idle hands, is it? Is that the phrase? So while I've been sitting in the cab here for the last several hours watching Clara do, quite frankly, a fabulous job of harvesting this field. She hasn't missed a single piece of oat, I've got to say. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do such a good a job. She's bossed it, absolutely bossed it. So yeah, while I've been sat here, twiddling my thumbs, I've managed to spend $90,000. Essentially what I was doing, I was trying to figure out, obviously based on how long it's taken us to do all of the rowing up today, the picking up of the grass and such, and thinking on about getting all this lot baled up as well. I kind of figured it's going to take an extremely long time to do it. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not, not bothered about hard work and time spent, but I'm, trying to make it a little bit easier on both of us in that respect. What I've done is I've purchased myself the biggest I could find windrower. I placed an order. I've been on the phone to the shop a couple of hours ago. I've purchased a 15-metre Claas branded windrower, just so that it can, it'll take a little bit less time to get them all picked up. So obviously we've got some pretty chunky rows here, which I'm very, very glad of. But if I can row them all up into even bigger ones, it'll take less time to run the baler, technically, in my mind. And obviously with the idea of investing a bit more money in a whole lot more land over by that workshop over there, stitching them all together and making one really, really big grass field, the job of getting the grass picked up, whether it's with a baler or with the forage pickup wagon, it would still be, in my mind anyway, a bit of an easier task if we were to row the field up into as minimal rows as possible. So, and I don't need any excuse to spend a load of money, do I? So there we go, it's ordered, it's over at it'll be over at the shop in a couple of days time, so we're going to pick that up. But yeah, we've done very well off this field. Yield wise, we have yielded, including now what I believe is what was in the harvester, what's in the trailer and what's over in the silo, we have got just north of 128 tons of oats. So I need to get on the phone to the grain merchants tomorrow morning, give them an idea of what I've got and what kind of time scale they'd be looking at to take that, whether I need to hang on to it for a few months and find out what that's going to be worth. So yeah, looking forward to that. But as you can see, we have got huge amounts of straw to get out of here, so this is going to hopefully stand us in very good stead to have a bit of a backlog of straw for our cows, and hopefully in the coming weeks, if I can get my get myself sorted, have a bit of a bale shed built over there, have that workshop dismantled and re-erected close by as well, I'll have another little bit of a setup, a bit of a yard going on. So yeah, lots of plans afoot, but I do enjoy it. But what a day. A busy day.